Oh, hello! Happy Wednesday! I hope you're having an amazing day. Oh my gosh, you guys, if you did not see the before and after that I posted on my Instagram story yesterday, it is unreal. So I posted these before and after photos on my story and I put a poll next to it and asked, how much weight do you think that this client has lost? And everyone voted on it. Mostly, I think it was like 71% was like 10 to 15 pounds. Everyone thought she was like 10 or 15 pounds down. A couple people voted 20 to 25 pounds down, and one person voted 5 pounds down. But overall, everyone thought she was down like 10 or 15 pounds. And guess what? She's only down 3 pounds. Crazy! Now, if you go back to my story, the pictures are still up. If you go look at those photos, you're going to be like, how the hell is she down 3 pounds? Like, she literally looks insane. Insane. And so I want to talk about the scale today because obviously the scale is a huge part of weight loss, but it can be a very emotional, triggering part of weight loss. And so the reason why I posted those pictures on my story with the poll is because this client on the BBB group call yesterday, she was like, hey, I just feel like I'm not making progress. Like I'm only down 3 pounds. Like I feel like I'm not moving forward in the right direction with my weight loss. I feel like I'm back to square one. Like she was just like going through this mental spiral, which if you know, you know, we've all been there. And I was like, girl, like scale aside, like the scale can go down. You can lose more weight always. Like that's not a problem. You're right on track. But also let's look at these fucking photos. Like crazy, 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 crazy good. And she was like, I know, but like, I know that the photos look good, but I just don't feel like I'm making progress. And so I was like, well, what does progress look like to you? And she was like, well, you know, when I first signed up for BBB, my main goal was that I wanted to be the same weight that's on my driver's license from like back in, I think she said high school or college or something, right? Which was like 155. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like you can do that. Like, I think that you could get to like 160 or 165 and feel good with where you're at and not feel like you need to lose that last 5 or 10 pounds. Like maybe you could lose those 5 or 10 pounds, but you probably will feel comfortable at that weight. And that was even more validated with these photos because she's down 3 pounds and looks so fucking insanely good. I'm like, your body's gonna look totally different at 165 than it is now. Anyways, and she was like, yeah, like, I know. So we were going back and forth about this on the call, and she has defined progress to look a certain way. And I think so many of us do this in our weight loss journeys that we have goals and they're ambitious goals, but it's not always going to pan out that way. Like your journey might look different than someone else's. So for example, I've coached hundreds of women online at this point. So there are 2 types of women I've found. 3 types of women, okay? 2 specifically. One type of person could lose 5 pounds and look like they lost 30, like her, okay? Lose 5 pounds, barely any weight on the scale, but their bodies look totally different, okay? And I have a lot of those. The second type of person is someone who loses a lot on the scale, but their photos don't look that different. So they've lost like 30 pounds, but their body doesn't really show it the same as maybe this other person, right? And so the box that you put yourself in when you create your goals, which it's important to have like a weight goal or like, you know, an end destination. Where do you want to be? What do you want to look like? What do you want to feel like? What are you working towards? You can't get hung up necessarily on that number. So I love when women come to me on BBB application calls and they're like, yeah, like I would ideally like to be at this weight, but I'm not tied to it. And I feel like I'll kind of know when I get there type of thing because they understand that. But this is what happens when, again, you put yourself in this box. You say, I want to weigh 155, for example, in this client's sake. I want to weigh 155. Any win outside of that doesn't even matter. Like you just brush it off. You're like, well, sure, I look different. I look like I lost some weight, but I'm not at that 155 yet, so it doesn't matter. Or, you know, okay, I'm down 10 pounds, but I'm not down 30, or I'm not down my full 60 or whatever that I want to lose. So it doesn't really matter. This is a big mindset block that comes up, and I notice it within the last kind of quarter, I guess you could say, of BBB, they start to really feel that like almost like this pressure of like, my goals are not, my progress is not the same as this goal. Like I haven't hit this end goal, but their progress is insane and it's on track, right? And so again, you just start beating yourself up. This isn't good enough. I'm never going to reach my goals like this, they just go into this whole spiral. And again, I totally get it, but as your coach bestie, I'm going to call you out and I'm going to like give you some tough love here, because if you're not happy with the way that you look now and the progress that you're making now, even if it's small wins, even if you hit 5,000 steps today and yesterday you hit 3, that's a fucking win. If you drink more water than you did yesterday, that's a fucking win. If you lose half a pound on the scale this week, that's a fucking win. You need to celebrate these small wins, because if you don't, nothing's ever going to feel good enough. And I told her, I was like, girl, I know people, and I'm going to tell you right now, I know people who have lost over 100 pounds. Okay, they lost over 100 pounds, which is fantastic, but they did not do the inner mindset, confidence, all or nothing mindset, limiting belief work. So guess what? They're 100 pounds down and they're more insecure in their bodies than they were when they were 100 pounds heavier. That's a true story, okay? What I'm trying to say is that your progress cannot be defined only by a number on the scale, because everyone's bodies are different. You're going to have a different journey in reality than what is in your head. And if you cannot celebrate the small wins, nothing's ever going to feel good enough. You're never going to feel satisfied. And if you do not practice building that muscle of confidence and loving yourself and self-respect, and again, acknowledging yourself in those wins, you will get to that end result. Hopefully you will get there. You might quit before you even get to that end goal, because you're just tearing yourself down and you don't feel good enough and whatever. You feel defeated, but you could potentially get to that end goal and still not feel good enough and still not feel happy. I see it all the time. Okay. So have your physical goal, your body goal, but don't be surprised when it's not a linear process like you thought it was going to be in your head, okay? Don't be surprised if you end up like this client of mine who only lost 3 pounds, but her body looks fucking insane and looks like she lost 15 pounds, okay? You need to have all these different benchmarks for your goals, and you need to be flexible, and you need to understand if you were on a weight loss journey, it will not be linear, babe. It will not be linear, and your path to success, to your goals, may not turn out the way that you think it is in your head. And that's something that it's hard to cope with in the beginning. But of course, that's why I'm here for my clients, and I can help them work through that and really work on that mindset, and more so like call out their wins for them if they don't recognize it, and teach them to recognize it and help them flex that muscle. And also, I just wanted to talk quickly about the scale, and what do we define as progress inside of Bang and Body Blueprint. So we're looking for, in terms of like weight loss per week, we're looking for 0.5 pound to 2 pounds lost per week. Now, if you have a lot of weight to lose, if you have like 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 pounds to lose, you're probably going to start losing closer to that 2 pound per week mark. You're going to lose in bigger chunks on the scale. And that's great. And that's exciting. But if you are leaner, so if you have 5, 10 pounds to lose, sometimes 15 pounds to lose, your weight loss might be on the lower end to 0.5 pound to 1 pound loss per week. So that's what we define as progress. And whenever my clients come to me, they're like, Ashley, I feel like I'm not making progress. I go and look at that and I'm like, no, you are on track. You are. You're so stubborn. You're so silly. You are. Like, you're on that 0.5 pound to 2 pounds per week, babe. Like, what are you complaining about? Like, literally, this is good. This is on track. So keep that in mind and use that. Keep that in your back pocket. If you feel yourself spiraling, if you step on the scale and you're like, I'm only down 0.5 pound this week. Like, what the fuck? Like, I did all my workouts. I hit my macros. I did all this stuff. Like, why am I not losing more weight? Remind yourself of this. Like, you know what? No, 0.5 pound is progress. That is on track. That is good. And also, again, when it comes to the scale, you have to keep in mind, I'm wearing a skirt, by the way. You have to keep in mind that things like your period, your hormones, your sodium intake, your water intake, your workouts, your eating schedule, what time you wake up, what time you go to bed, your stress, all these things play a role into your weight on the scale. So it's not as cut and dry as, oh, I did my workouts and I hit my macros. I wish it was that easy. We're women, okay? We fluctuate every day. You could eat the same thing, have the same routine day in and day out, and guess what? You're still gonna fluctuate like 3 to 5 pounds throughout the month, okay? That's just being a woman. So also with the scale, again, you have to be mindful that you will fluctuate, and that's okay, and it's normal, and that is to be expected, and that's a part of the journey, and you cannot let it fuck with you. You can't let it get to your head. You can't beat yourself up and again go into this whole spiral when you have a week where, let's say, the scale goes up, because it's a normal fluctuation, right? And you have to look at other measures of progress, like your measurements and your progress pictures. And thank God, this client specifically, when she joined BBB, she didn't want to take pictures because she wasn't comfortable, and that's totally normal. But, I was like, I think that you should consider it, of course, and I think that it's something that's really worth having, right? So she ended up obviously coming around to it, hence the pictures I posted, and thank fucking God she had those photos, because had she not had those photos, she would have looked at that scale and been like, dude, I am not making progress at all. And oh my gosh, she's so sweet, but she's so hard on herself. She would have just completely like derailed and spiraled. So make sure, if you are in a calorie deficit, if you are on your weight loss journey, your fat loss journey, you're toning up, whatever your fitness goal is, make sure you take pictures every couple weeks, every 3 to 4 weeks. Take your photos, do your measurements. If you can do your measurements every week, that's even better. But make sure you take your measurements and you are using things other than the scale to measure your progress, because the scale lies sometimes. It's not an accurate representation of your weight. And the last thing I'm going to say about the scale is that when you are looking for, how much weight you lost, I would recommend weighing yourself every single day. And again, I have clients that come to me in BBB and they're like, I've had bad experiences with weighing myself. The scale is very triggering to me. I don't want to do that. And I'm like, cool, respect, but consider it, because we are looking for the lowest weight drop that entire week. And she's only going to be there for one day. So let's say if you weigh 165, okay, Monday you're 165, Tuesday you're 166, Wednesday you're 163, Thursday you're 165, the next day 66, whatever. That's going to be that 163 is going to be your lowest weigh-in, and that's what we want to look at. And it's only going to be there for one day, okay? So with that being said, if you're weighing yourself once a week, you're probably missing that lowest weigh-in, because again, it's only going to be there for one day. And if you are weighing yourself every day, then you will catch that low weigh-in, and you might have a low weigh-in on Tuesday, but maybe you have an even lower weigh-in on Friday or on Sunday, okay? A lot of my clients have low weigh-ins on the weekends, on Saturday and Sunday. So you need to make sure that you're weighing yourself every day. And if you need help working on your relationship with the scale, girly, I can help you with that inside of Bang a Body Blueprint. But it's worth it. And it's worth it to have that data. I'm all about numbers. I'm all about data. And obviously everything in BBB is science-based and backed by numbers and data and research. So it's really, really, really important for fat loss purposes. And you're going to thank yourself later. So that is today's mini training. I hope you enjoyed it. And I am looking for 10 women who want to lose 15 pounds by Christmas, because the holidays are coming up. And imagine this. January 1st, 2024. I can't believe 2024 is coming up. Like, what the fuck? Okay. January 1st, 2024, you are waking up. You do a big stretch, you get out of bed, and you just had Christmas, you just celebrated the new year, you are so excited for the new year, you had great times with your friends and family, whatever, and you step on the scale, or you look in the mirror, and you're 15 pounds down. on the first day of the year. And you have spent the last 3 months working on your health and your fitness inside of BBB. So you have had community, you have had support, and you've had results. You've lost 15 pounds before the new year has even started. So instead of going into the new year being like, oh, I need to get on my health and fitness grind, like I feel so, behind, like I should have done this months ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, like I wish I was started, and now you have all this pressure and resentment against yourself because you didn't start, and now it's the new year, and now you're starting, and now everyone's just doing this whole thing, and you're probably going to fall off, whatever. You've already been on it, girl. You've already been on it, and you're 15 pounds down. That could be you. Okay? That could be you if you sign up for BBB now. So these girls that are signing up for BBB in the next few weeks, again, will have support through the holidays, through Halloween, through Thanksgiving, through Christmas, through the new year. And let me tell you, those are my favorite times to work with clients because we are surrounded by food. We're traveling. So like all of these objections about why they can't reach their health and fitness goals, I'm busy, I'm paying for all these gifts, or, I'm traveling a lot, or there's a lot of food. There's all these holiday events. People are bringing in donuts into the break room. People are, people are shoving food down my throat at Thanksgiving. Like all of these reasons why people can't reach their health and fitness goals come up over the holidays, and we can really tackle it head on and make so much progress over these next couple months. So again, 15 pounds is kind of like the goal. But if you want to lose like 5 pounds, we can do that. 10 pounds, 30 pounds, whatever. My clients lose anywhere from 5 to 30, but I feel like 15 is like a good number. And again, I'm looking for 10 women, and the next 5 who join will get a free one-on-one VIP kickoff call with me, which is so fun. We basically calculate your calories. If you want to do calories or macros, we'll calculate those together, and we'll map out the next like 4 to 5 weeks of your nutrition. So you know exactly how much you need to be eating for the next 4 to 5 weeks of the program. You also get more one-on-one support to me because this is a one-on-one call, and we create a 3-month health plan for you so that you have non-scale, non-physical related goals to focus on over these 3 months as well. So you're making sure that you have a holistic transformation and not just physical, which is not even possible. In BBB, we have a very holistic transformation as it is, but having that time to sit down and actually map out these goals with me is really, really special and a huge advantage. So you can learn more about BBB by going to the link in my bio. You can apply and book your free consultation call with me. Applying does not secure your spot. Obviously, we'll get on a free consultation call and just make sure, we'll go through all the program details to make sure it's a perfect fit for you and make sure it checks all your boxes before we get you enrolled. And of course, you can choose your start date as well. So if you have a trip coming up, but you still want to sign up for BBB while you're feeling inspired and motivated and you want to have something to look forward to, we can do that as well. So if you have any questions, DM me. I hope you enjoyed this training, and keep in mind that mindset is 90% of the battle with weight loss. So don't let the scale get to your head. Okay. Look at this client on my stories. She's proof of the pudding, proof in the pudding of the pudding. She's proof that the scale does not define your progress, and you can achieve your goals even if the scale does not reflect it. Your body reflects it. And how you feel in your body is what matters, not the number on the scale. Okay? I love you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Mwah.